2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Trade.
Here we go, blockbuster matchup here. Melbourne United taking on the Perth Wildcats. Now, it's a Melbourne home game. No surprise there. The Perth Wildcats having to play a vast majority of their games on the road this season. I'll tell you what, Wildcats going to Wildcat. They find a way to get it done time in, time out. And I reckon there should be favourites here because they have no issue at John Cain Arena. We saw them take care of South East Melbourne Phoenix the other night. And we look back to the NBL Cup last year. They were dominant there. They love playing at John Cain. And I reckon they're going to be able to get it done here. So I'll take them in their head-to-head. I'll also take them at the line here because they are the underdog. So you're going to get a little bit of a buffer there. And of course, my favourite bet in the NBL, the total points under. Enjoy, and most importantly, gamble responsibly.
Well, the last 12 grand final series, the winner of game 1 goes on to win the whole thing. Golding, top of the key, you couldn't ask for a better start. Perth stream forward, Steindl for 3, and Will Magnay follows up with a tip-down. McCarron in the line of fire, tips it out for Golding. My goodness!
10-point margin.
Blanchfield, he's keeping them in it. A 3-ball to tie it up. Now Perth needs a foul. They can't get it done initially. McCarron turns it over. Wagstaff for 3. Misses. Melbourne survive. Bubba left open and knocks it down. You can see the pain writhing through Mitch Norton's body. Bubba from halfway. Got it! You die, Bubba! Perth led by 10 earlier in the game, but it's now Melbourne 10 up. Golding, feet set. Good night.
Oh, big hit. Worst case scenario for the Wildcats.
Melbourne once again negotiate a tough Perth Wildcats outfit. Golding.
That play was beautiful. Pass on point. Of course, money-making Mitch McCarron with another no-look.
Hobson, guarded by Magnay. Hand in the face. Enormous from Scotty Hobson. Big knockdown from CG43. Melbourne United have been on top of the table for all but 4 rounds. They've been the benchmark all season long, and they are the NBL21 champions.
Hello and welcome to John Cain Arena for the one we've all been waiting for, the grand final rematch. It's first versus second on the Hungry Jacks NBL22 ladder, and the winner taking top spot. It doesn't get any bigger than that in prime time. Great to have your company. Great to have the company of the #1 journo in the land, former NBL player Liam Santamaria, and the MVP himself, Corey Homicide Williams. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Dwayne. Excited for this. 2 powerhouses of the modern game in the NBL. The past 6 NBL championships have been won between these 2 teams, and with top spot on the line, it's going to be a good one.
Perth for the win. Bryce Cotton owns the state of Victoria, specifically Melbourne. He loves playing in this building. This flat out gets it done against both of these teams in Victoria.
Well, they've been living in Victoria for a while. The Wildcats. Let's have a look at the Melbourne United starting 5 for DoorDash. Get 25% off your next 4 orders. Just use the code PASSIT.
Well, Jack White back in the mix, straight back into the starting lineup. His matchup with Vic Law is going to be one to watch at power forward. And also Ariel Hook-Porty, the German next star, comes back into the lineup. This team's lost 2 in a row, dropped the game at home last week to Tasmania, looking to bounce back.
Really looking forward to seeing this young next star continue balling, especially at the defensive end.
So a couple of big additions for Melbourne United. And for the Wildcats, a little addition to their unit as well, which is good to see. Everyone's excited about the future of this guy.
Well, they're rolling. The Wildcats, they've won 3 of their last 4. Big win last week over South East Melbourne. And Luke Travers was absolutely outstanding. Career high 24 points. There you see it, 4 of 6 from long range. They let him shoot. Melbourne United will probably do the same at times tonight, but he made them pay. So looking for another big one from him. And even more importantly, the legend, Jesse Wagstaff. 400 games for him tonight. 6-time champion. Absolute legend of the Perth Wildcats and the NBL. Congratulations.
It's been an amazing career. 48th NBL player to play 400. Also joining us for the coverage tonight, Melbourne United Championship winner courtside, Peter Hurley. Welcome to you, Pete.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. And as Corey mentioned, Bryce Cotton, we know he's a superstar of the game, but he loves playing against Melbourne United. He loves playing at John Cain Arena. Let's not forget the wave he gave to the fans just a few years ago. He loves silencing this crowd. I'm looking forward to seeing how Matthew Dellavedova tries to shut him down, because no one's managed to shut down Bryce Cotton. I think Shea Ili will get a crack. Caleb Agata will get a crack. There's always fireworks when Bryce Cotton comes to Melbourne.
Well, that's going to be fun for sure. And don't forget the matchup in the middle. Joe Luala-Chul coming off the first 2020 game in franchise history. And Majuk's going to have his hands full. Luala-Chul leading the league in both rebounds and blocks.
Great to have your company wherever you're watching around the planet. If this is your first game of the Hungry Jacks NBL22 season, you picked a good one. The 2 best teams in the NBL this season, first and second. These 2 teams shared the past 6 NBL championships between them. And here is the #1 player in the competition, Bryce Cotton. Vic Law, the dynamic duo, starts on fire.
I'm going to explain something right now. How many years Vic Law has been a pro? I'm just going to throw out and say about maybe 6 or 7 years, right? How many years has Jack White been a pro? 2. 2 ain't beating 7 today.
Joe Luala-Chul gets the crowd up early.
I'm telling you now.
Right.
2 ain't beating 7. I'm talking about years of experience.
Yep.
If you're a 7th-year pro, you're going to allow a 2-year pro to stop you?
Always the first time for everything, Corey.
I'm just asking you
Home
personally.
deck.
I'm asking you personally.
I'm just going to sit back and watch your heart rate get above about 160 beats a minute as this one goes all the way to the wire. It should be a ripper.
I am not allowing a 2-year pro to lock me up.
No.
That's the matchup.
Well, that's certainly Vic Law's mentality. And he was a little quiet last week, uncharacteristically quiet. 9 points, 3 boards against South East Melbourne. Early knockdown in this one.
Mitch Norton weaved his way past the cover for the jam. Majuk puts the lid on it.
Mitch Norton can turn that corner and get to the rack. Draws the defense, easy pass, and he can get a finish.
Golding to White, to the corner. And early buckets coming by the dozens here. Caleb Agata, he needs to light it up.
Well, he really needed that. 4 straight single-digit scoring games for Agata, and he's been struggling from long range. Mitch Norton, again, putting pressure on the defense, getting to the cup. Beautiful setup before from Majuk as he felt Joe Luala-Chul coming across to help. Put it right on the spot.
Big crowd in full voice early. Scott Morrison on the sideline for the Perth Wildcats. Big task replacing Trevor Gleeson and continuing to drive this great culture of this magnificent franchise, the Perth Wildcats. Currently top. They'll lose top spot with a loss. Melbourne United will take it over. And there's Dean Vickerman on the inbound. Frazier had to give it up. Shot clock winding down. Norton's going to have to make it work. and does somehow the miracle.
He's given problems. Norton off the bounce. This is the #1 ranked offense in the league. The Wildcats up against the #1 ranked defense, and right now, Perth on top at that end of the floor.
Talked about Golding and Caleb Azart. Agata going to have to fire. Perth Wildcats have the best dynamic duo in the competition. Melbourne United had some good depth, couldn't get it to work there. As Liam Santa Maria told you, Caleb Agata had a purple patch going, but 4 straight single-digit games. To the corner, Norton. Oh my goodness, how's this for a start?
He's just coming out on fire, ready to play. Catch and shoot, knockdown.
Dellavedova gives it over. And the treble. JLA tried to put them in the spin cycle and slid the foot.
It's annoying. 6 points. See, travel, shuffle of the feet.
Here's Norton again. Gets some space. Law, the feed. Norton. Back out to Vic Law. Rebounds big. Jalawala Jewel pulls it down. Matthew Dellavedova. From the scramble, White, Delhi. Couldn't get the 2, but will go to the line for a couple where he's 79%. You know, been watching the NBL this season, 447 NBA games, including a championship at Cleveland for Matthew Dellavedova back in Australia.
And there's Jesse Wagstaff checking into the game, right? Notching up that game, 400. 48th player in NBL history to reach that mark, and joins Ricky Grace now as the only players to notch up 400 games with the Wildcats. 13th season, 6 championships, sorry. And to do it as a guy always coming off the bench. You know, you play that many games because you're a superstar, putting up points as a starter. He's done it off the bench, found his niche and done it to perfection.
Bryce on the drive by 2. Bryce Cotton.
Nice pass by Luke Travers. You said earlier, Liam, he's coming off his best performance this season. 24-7 and 3. He pretty much won. If it wasn't for him knocking those 3s down, he won the game for them. And NBA scouts are saying they want to see him add the 3 ball. And he's like, okay.
Bryce Cotton, the crossover, the foul on the 3. He'll go to the line. Caleb Agata got a little too tight.
He got him. That's how he does it. Bryce Cotton, he puts you in the dance, and as he crosses it over, and then as he steps back and you've coming forward, rises straight up. That's his ability to then rise straight up into his jump shot, draws the contact. Nobody does it better than this man, Bryce Cotton.
Nobody, as the boys have told you pre-game, been doing it better here. Last year, Bryce Cotton, #1 scorer here, 8 games, averaging 25.4 points per game. Good crowd in. Some Saturday night hoops. Matthew Dellavedova again. His first NBL game against Bryce Cotton. Go head-to-head in an NBA game, but Bryce didn't get on the floor in that one. JLA with the jam, and they love JLA at JCA.
First team all green light. You know, when he gets it, he's getting to it.
From the corner for Jesse. Shaylee. Oh. And Travers, one of the big stars of the competition this season. A lot of people believe NBA bound. Career high 24 points last weekend, 4 or 6 from the 3-point arc, as Liam Santa Maria explained.
Wildcats jump into a little zone. Got the smaller lineup on the floor with Wagstaff at the 5, Law at the 4, and then jump into the zone on this possession.
Jack White, the spin, the handoff. Foot involved, still a United ball. Golding, little up fake, then put it up. Crowd were willing it in. Vic Law from the top. Got his own ball back and rejected. Crowd enjoyed that. Jack White as Illy runs the floor and puts 2 on him.
Great block by Jack White. Starts off the fast break, and Shea Illy in the open court.
Bryce to Jesse. Not that time. Cotton gets it back, steps it up, and Luke Travers puts the lid on it this time. Just casually, no histrionics. Golding. He puts it up, long range from the top. Yet to find his range, but you know the purple patch is coming, just a matter of when for Chris Golding. Big Law. Wagstaff gives it back to him. Little screen, got some room. Back to Jesse. Jesse's not quite off the glass. A little cold early. White straight back down the floor. A Euro. And third, fourth time, not lucky.
Great hustle by the young fella.
Delhi also yet to find his range.
1 of 5 start from long range for Melbourne United. They've been cold from there in recent weeks. 17% over their last couple of games.
Bryce Cotton shows them how it's done.
Yeah, you know you got to put a hand up with that. Nothing else. Run him off the three-point line.
Nice little margin early for the visiting team. Next few games away for the Perth Wildcats, and they're going to finish the season with a string of home games to end the regular season. So they've got the news this week that they're going to be headed home. Exciting news. Teams are going to be able to fly into Perth to play them. They've been away from home a long time, the Wildcats, but that'll spark them up knowing they're heading back to their old home state as we head to Liam Santa Maria.
Fast start from the Wildcats at the offensive end, and I like what they did in their first couple of possessions. Find out how they're defending you in the pick and roll. So what do? Bryce Cotton, guarded by Matthew Dellavedova. They bring Vic Law into that pick and roll action, and watch, pick, and then right here, Law, after he sets this pick, he's going to pop into this space, open 3-ball, because Jack White just a little slow on the recovery. So next time down the floor, Mitch Norton. They run what we call the Spanish action. So pick and roll here with Majuk Deng. With Majuk. There's the screener. But look here is Bryce Cotton setting the back screen on Majak's man. A little bit of contact from Cotton, and then whoop, you've got the big fella over the top. Great execution from the Wildcats. They're on top early doors.
Playing against the toughest defensive teams in Melbourne United, you have to be able to execute. As Liam pointed out, Perth have done that so far in this first quarter.
Yeah, beautifully explained by #1 NBL journo in the land, former NBL player Liam Santa Maria with us, along with Corey Homicide Williams and Peter Hurley for the first versus second battle in prime time on a Saturday night. Shea Illy. Hesitation, did the hard work, couldn't catch the check. Travers the rebound. Norton. They silenced the venue early. Bryce Cotton. Step back 2. Bam!
Listen, Bryce Cotton is already up to 10. And this is a guy that usually does not come out in the first quarter uber aggressive. Making a statement today.
Alabagada. It's a little bit of space. Throws it back out. This is huge. And Mason Peatling put it up, and a few not happy in the arena, including Dean Vickerman, as we head back down to championship winner with United, Peter Hurley.
Yeah, guys, Dean Vickerman not happy at all in that timeout. Defensively, they keep talking about Bryce Cotton being the focus. Everybody needs to be ready to help, but they have to move as one. If somebody helps, somebody's got to help the helper to make sure they rotate on a string. And offensively, he said, everything is just off one dribble or no dribbles right now. We can get those shots whenever. If there's nothing there, move the ball along, get the ball through hands, player movement, let's get some good looks.
On the other end, Mitch Norton giving him all kinds of trouble. Yeah, we talk about Bryce Cotton. He's got 10 points, but Norton knows he needs to stay aggressive. Everybody's playing off me, throwing extra numbers and bodies at Bryce Cotton. So I'm going to be uber aggressive. And he's putting a whole bunch of heat on the rim right now.
Jesse Wagstaff. Still yet to find it. Billy. Melbourne United dodge a little bullet there. And stripped. Brad Newley on the floor now. Couldn't keep control of it. And his mind read. Bryce Cotton. He's stalking them again, Bryce. Hands it off. Travis back out. Jesse. The fake. Almost the own rebound. Ariel Hook-Porty. Caleb Agata. He lost it. Another turnover. Some oohs and ahs from the crowd. Bryce Cotton inside. Rejected. Brilliant stuff from Ariel Hook-Porty just when they needed him most.
Great job from Hook-Porty. Stalked him in transition. Illy made it tough. Hook-Porty sent it away.
Travis. Good rebound. Blocks his chances against Peterling. Takes him on high off the glass. That's his class.
Great take in transition. The ability to create off the dribble, in and out cross. Nice right-hand finish. High off the glass.
Agata again. Nowhere to go. Hook-Porty back out. Illy, single figure shot clock. Hook-Porty with the floater. Bryce. Cotton stalked them again. Rejected this time by Peterling, who got a hand in the way. And the crowd's enjoying at least some of the work on the defensive end.
Good hustle by Peterling, getting back. Locking that from behind. Cotton's already feeling good early.
Oh my, early first quarter minutes for the Hyphen. Ollie Hayes-Brown comes in, no Matt Hodgson, of course. And the young development player, Hayes-Brown, gets some early run.
And here he is on cue. And the Hyphen with the hook. Almost got his own rebound. Illy. Newley. Illy. Jolo Alachul. Not quite. Hyphen v. Hyphen didn't quite work for him.
That is my favorite Wildcat, this young fella right here. That's a grown man. He's a young DP, but he's tough. Good to see him getting minutes early.
Frazier took it back out, took it back in, hands it up, jam! Vic Law takes him to law school.
That's great movement off the ball from Vic Law. Don't just stand and watch your teammate make plays. Cut, get open, just like Newley does there.
And Peterling delivers for him on cue.
Wildcats have come out all business in this first quarter.
Norton with the shake and bake and the floater. Nicely done. Golding hit the deck, but didn't get the call he was after.
Started with that man right there. Mitch Norton, they playing off him. He's hitting shots, creating for others, and now finishing at the basket.
8 seconds left. Golding not happy. 7 seconds to play with.
Chris Reed has given Chris Golding the stare down there. There's the beautiful drop off from Frazier and the finish with authority from Vic Law. And Dean Vickerman is going to tear into his guys in this quarter time huddle. They gave up 36 in the opening quarter last game against Tassie. 29 on the board here for the Cats.
Who's got to put up the last shot? Illy steps it in and got it to go. On the buzzer. Boy, did they need that. 29-16, the battle for top spot. 1 and 2 on the Hungry Jacks NBL22 ladder, and is living up to all expectations so far. Hot start for the Wildcats. They've been getting behind in games in the last 5 games this season, but they have started magnificently away from home. 29-16, early statement from the big guns of the competition who've come out to play for the Wildcats. Tonight's winner of the $50 Kmart gift card is Lincoln Hine. Been United members since the beginning. Go as a family every game we can. Lincoln's favourite players are Jack White and Chris Golding.
Dominant first quarter from Perth. There's Danny Minogue in the building, cheering on their hometown team. But geez, Perth Wildcats, both ends of the floor, getting the job done. Averaging 115 points per 100 possessions on the season, the Wildcats, and getting whatever they want this first half so far.
Vic Law steps it out, steps it in, pulls up for 2. Barlow, the rebound. Newley. Barlow, passed off the chance of a shot. Golding, hands it up. Joe Luala-Jewell to get the crowd back into it.
That's better offense, ball movement. Everybody touched it. Goulden gets to the rack, passes to the big fella, and he finishes. Now the question is, on defense, can they get a stop?
Blanchfield tried to get an early sider quickly down the floor, and Newley ran it hard, couldn't finish it off. Stop. Golding, what's going to do with this one? 3 Wildcats ahead of him, puts up the long bomb. It was a thing of beauty.
Timeout. Wildcats. Good response from Melbourne. 3 straight stops to begin the second quarter. Turning things around out of the huddle from Dean Vickerman, and Scott Morrison, he wants to chat about it.
So often the man, Chris Golding. And he knows how important that was. He's the man to call the timeout, Scott Morrison.
You got a minute? You got a minute left in you? Listen, you did everything great in the first quarter. We out there just fucked around. Should be a handoff, okay? That should have been a handoff, then play out of it. Fake it, slip it, whatever you want. Down here, give it off, transition layup. Run double. Put Vic as the first screener. You're the second screener, so you're the first screener. Mike's coming off. You guys are gonna hedge a little bit. Dive to the rim. Okay, let's go.
It's the settling timeout there from Scott Morrison, reminding them to focus on their execution at the offensive end. And you hear the play that he draws up at the end there. They often, like they did the very first play, like to try to put Vic Law in those screening actions because he's so dangerous. You show a little help on the ball, Vic Law picks, pops, and he can make you pay.
13 was the margin at quarter time. Springing the step again for Melbourne United. Wildcats bring it down the floor. Mitch Norton surveying. Jesse Wagstaff put a few shots up early. Couldn't find the hole. Norton has been superb. Little hesitation and then the hard hook.
That's tough. That is tough, Mitch Norton. A little bit of body contact to create some separation, and then over the outstretched hands of the league's best shot blocker.
And Bryce Cotton knew exactly what Matthew Dellavedova was trying to do and takes him on, draws the foul, gets the 2. A clinic from the best player in the competition.
Who's going to stop Cotton? Who's stopping Cotton tonight? Great defense on one end. Nice behind the back. As he froze the defense, goes to the basket and finishes with the left. And 1.
Pete Hurley, how are you seeing it from your angle?
Well, guys, I listened to Dean Vickerman quarter time, and as Liam mentioned, he wasn't going to be happy. That was not a family-friendly timeout, and he was basically saying it was 2 things. There was indecision on the defensive end. If they're going to switch or do whatever, they've just got to do it, stop second-guessing it. And then he said, have no excuses. And a perfect example, a couple of plays later, Brad Newley had that transition layup, and it looked like a goaltend from Vic Law. The whole bench got up, the other assistant coaches saying it was a goaltend. Dean Vickerman turned around and said, shut up, he's got to make a layup. So he's saying no excuses, we've just got to be better.
no surprise he's not happy. They're having all kinds of trouble staying in front of the ball, handling the two ball handlers for the Wildcats. Norton checks out, but he and Cotton, as the foul called there on Perth, Wagstaff's not happy. Norton and Cotton have combined for 23 of Perth's 34 points so far, and a lot of it has been around the cup. They're a combined 8 of 10 from the field.
2 quick fouls picked up by the milestone man, Jesse Wagstaff, in game 400. Golding, catch, shoot, all net. Classic Chris Golding.
That is just world-class shooting. Great defense, but Chris Golding, so tough. One of the best to ever do it shooting-wise in this league.
Bryce Cotton, the step back, trademark, and he draws the foul again. That's not a replay of what you saw 3 minutes ago. And look at that. Dean Vickerman, is he praying? He's perplexed.
That's facepalm emoji right there from Dean Vickerman. They've spoken about it week in, week out. And they've talked about it in the lead up to this one and last year's matchups against Bryce Cotton and the year prior and the year before that. You just can't foul him when he's shooting the three. Give him a tiny little extra bit of space, but don't send him to the line and let him just tick the scoreboard over from the stripe.
Bryce Cotton, it's a few people down on one knee. Makes a few buckle, and that is the kind of thing he can do to you all night. He's up to 16 points already. Matthew Dellavedova. Joe turns. Baseline on Jesse Wagstaff and delivers a much-needed 2.
Well, if a double team's not going to come with that mismatch, he's just going to continue to attack.
Big Law time. He parted the seas and flipped up a little one. The finger roll didn't roll. Newley tried the Euro on Wagstaff. Wildcats saved it, but gave it to Frazier. Golding, he took the hit. And fouls on him.
Backcourt.
Crowd a little restless right now here at John Cain Arena. Margin was 13 at quarter time. Perth threatening to stretch it again here. Stopped the run Melbourne United had to start this quarter. And Bryce Cotton, he'll step back 2 this time. Golding. He takes it inside. Gets the crowd up and about.
This is fun. 2 incredibly talented offensive players going to work at either end of the floor. Cotton comes up short. Golding knocks that one. He's up to 8.
Hands it off, and it is a clinic right now from the Wildcats. Frazier drops the bomb.
It's just unselfish basketball. Cotton looked like he had a shot that he could have taken, and he passes it off to his teammate.
Ariel Hutcorde. JLA. Sorry. Nice bomb for JLA.
He's up to 10.
Frazier straight back down the other end. JLA pulls that out. Looks around to see who's near him. Takes on Vic Law. He's got to put him on his own back.
Look, there's no matchup out there.
No, there's not. Got to milk him.
Got to milk him.
Law. Frazier. Takes on Golding. And rejected by JLA. Doing it both ends. No, called for it.
For the goaltend there. There's Michael Frazier just stepping up, knocking down shots, coming off a really nice game last week, 14-9, and Wildcats showing his range down the other end, and his versatile skill set, his length. There is no matchup out there on the floor for Joe the Wildcats, so expect Melbourne United to go back at him.
As they should, because 5 for 7 from the field, 12 points. In 11 minutes of action, 6 rebounds to go with it.
Illy to Golding. Puts it up, draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 3.
They run that play for Joe Luala-Chul. Small to big cross screen. Golding sets that pick. And with Luala-Chul fronted down low, Golding then peels off the down screen, screen the screener action. Catch and shoot. Good execution from Melbourne United.
Cotton's got 16 points. Joe Luala-Chul's got 12. Golding from the line.
Cotton has 16 points in 11 minutes of action. Talking about focus.
Golding's now got 10 with 1 to come.
Well, it would have been so hard for that man, Bryce Cotton, watching that grand final series last year, watching his team go down on this floor and United hoist the trophy. He'd had such a great year, Bryce Cotton. MVP for the 3rd time, but he just wasn't able to be there due to injury in the heat of the postseason. He's coming out and he's taking it out on his rivals tonight.
Big Law from the corner. Jack White with the hops to Illy. Springing the step for Chris Golding. Travers the rebound. Lost it. Vic Law. Tried to take it coast to coast. And JLA says, no, not in my house.
Great defense by the big fella. Good help coming from the weak side. Doing a better job in this quarter defensively. 6-point game, real good minutes by the big fella.
Vic Law.
No
rattles
conscience.
It down.
No conscience. I don't care if you block my shot. Hold this 3. He's up to 8.
Ariel Hukporte. Hukporte to Golding. Up fake. Step back. White. Hukporte fade away 2.
All right. I've seen that from Hukporte in the block. He's been patient down there, pounding it away and then getting to that lefty hook. And this time sticks the fadeaway.
Creeping their way back. 45-38. Hukporte showing us what he's got in his deep bag of tricks.
He's getting better and better. Playing under Vickerman and Joe Luala-Chul, you know, practice, they're going at it daily. He has no choice but to get better.
Both teams starting to light it up now. If you think you can light it up, if you think you can shoot a full court shot at an NBL game, head to the NBL website page for your chance to shoot for $100,000 in the Latrobe Financial Sharp Shot. And don't worry, if you miss your first shot, you get a second. Go from half court for $50,000. Thanks to Latrobe Financial. So head to the win page on the NBL website.
Now it's the Wildcats with things to sort out at the defensive end. Melbourne United just 16 points in that opening term, but they've been piling it on. Since quarter time, 22 points in the first 5 minutes and change of this second quarter. Bryce Cotton, he's got the game high 16. Joe Luala-Chul with 12, Chris Golding with 11, catching up quickly.
United have lost their past 2 games this season. It's a mini slump if they lose their 3rd, but no dramas if they grab this one in this battle for top spot. Law brings it back out. Magic takes it himself.
Nice take and finish. Showed poise, good ball handling skills, spin move, off the glass bucket.
Jack White. Chris Golding. From way outside, he has lit the fire. Chris Golding.
That's tough. He's hit 3 now, Golding, and he is feeling it.
He's coming off 29 points in 3 quarters from last week. You know he's in form. Steal. We're going upstairs.
For the alley-oop. And Jack White puts the lid on it. And we'll go to the line for the extra.
I mean, that's just strength and athleticism, because that was not an easy play to finish for Chris Goulding from the land of plenty. Got it with the alley-oop. Big Law kind of commits. Like he got his hands on it, but the young fella finishes. Jack White. Melbourne United's record with him is what? He's lost 1 time?
1 game as a pro.
Unbelievable.
Can't finish Agata. Pulls it back out and throws it back, but it'll be a Wildcats ball after a wild kind of throw.
And a hell of a comeback. Margin got as big as 15. Perth led 29-14. Before it was a 13-point margin at quarter time, but Melbourne United piling on the points in this second term.
Leaders stepping up. Chris Goulding and Jolu Arachul combined 26 points.
Really trying to make it tough for Cotton. Weaving his way past a couple. Step back, long range 2. And he worried him out of it. Agata. He parted the seas. Throws it back out. Chris Goulding time. Not this time. Might get another chance. Does. Floater off the glass. He has reached into his bag of tricks. And he's found a couple.
Credit Shayeli with that play. The hustle on the offensive board. Good decision not to go back up. That was going to get sent away. And then finds Goulding slashing to the rim.
2-point game. Vic Law turns baseline. And now they're not dropping for the Wildcats. Agata. Couldn't finish. Got it back. Back out, Illy. Goulding for the lead. And Vic Law takes the rebound down as Illy hit the deck. Down by as much as 15. Melbourne United. Won their past 5 against the Wildcats, Melbourne United, including that 3-0 sweep of the grand final series. But again, Bryce Cotton, not part of that. Talked about this being a grand final rematch from last season. This might be a grand final preview of what's to come later on. These 2 teams will finish in the top 4. You can almost guarantee that. Wildcats in the playoffs every season. Bryce Cotton, one of the reasons why. To Frazier. Norton. Wagstaff, with a look-away handoff. Cotton to Law. Back to Wagstaff. Off the foot of Illy. Goulding hands it up, and the jam from Joe Lual-Achul, and in the blink of an eye, scores a level.
It's fantastic defense on ball by Shayeli, not allowing Bryce Cotton to have his way since beginning to guard him, and they're making him pay on the other end.
Frazier, air ball. Little tip on the way through. Crowd's up and about now. Illy, shown no respect whatsoever.
Well, he's getting it done at the defensive end, and then given all kinds of room, knocks it down.
34-18 second quarter. That is how you want to see your team respond after a lackluster first quarter.
Frazier tried to feed it out to Norton and suddenly unraveling.
Again, Shayeli moving his feet, denying Bryce Cotton, and then preventing the back door. And yeah, that was nice pass from Goulding and a good finish from Lual-Achul, but it started from Shayeli down the other end. We hyped Matthew Dellavedova on Bryce Cotton in the pregame, but Shayeli is keeping Delly on the bench right now because he's getting the job done on the MVP.
And here is Illy on cue. From outside, oh my goodness! Just to accentuate Liam Santa Maria's point. From 15 down to 6 in front, Melbourne United. Frazier. Tried the hand off, Wagstaff. Law. Golding. Back to Jesse. And the foul call.
Shea Ellie just getting it done at both ends. The last few minutes, the defense, individual defense he's been playing, that's the difference. It's giving Melbourne United not just energy, but easy buckets in transition, and he's getting them easy looks. Offensive rebounds, hitting threes, finding Goulin, Goulin finding JLA. This is Melbourne United basketball right here.
And those three-point hits, that is just absolute gravy from Shea Ili, because he's been struggling from long range this season. 25%, down from 42 last year. But steps up here and drains 2 of 2.
Well, here's a man that drags them through the doors every time Melbourne United have a home game and putting on a show on the big stage tonight.
He sure is. After a slow start, he begins getting it going. And that is just world-class shooting on display. Coming off of a 29-point performance the game before, you know he's in rhythm. Shooting from man half court right there. It's just a beautiful thing when he's shooting the ball the way he is like this.
This quarter from Melbourne, Perth struggling to get stops. It's put 34 on the board so far. It's the most any team has scored in any quarter against Perth so far this season. 37 is the highest quarter against anyone this season, and United are going to have another look to try to match that total.
So 100 points between them with 35 seconds left to half-time. Wow. 48th NBL player to play 400 games.
Just look at his resume. 6-time champ, rookie of the year, best 6-man. But how durable would you have to be, has he been, to hit 400 games?
Well, durable. Of course, his team deep in the playoffs, year after year, it adds up extra games there. But what I love about Wagstaff, he's the perfect example of find your role on the team and perfect it.
Still a Wildcats ball. Bryce Cotton off the glass. It doesn't go for Bryce this time. They've been able to shut him down, and now Shea Ili, he's put on a show of his own. You can see that shot clock, game clock differential to end the half. Hands it up to Jack White, back to Shea. Danced inside them, handed to Newley, back out to Joe Luala-Chul, let it fly, dying seconds, Agata tried to mop it up. Vic Law, he's going to have to let it go from halfway, he doesn't. Half time. And the crowd rises one. They came from 15 points down to dominate in their house.
Roller coaster ride of a first half. Shea Ili getting all kinds of love from his teammates, and rightly so. The Wildcats dominate the first quarter. Melbourne dominate the second. 5-point game.
Peter Hooley.
Well, CG, slow out the blocks in the first quarter, but then really turns it on. What'd you like about that second quarter?
Oh, we stopped fouling. Well, kind of, you know. You let Bryce tick over 6, 7, 8, 9 free throws. Makes it really tough. So we sat down a bit better, kept our hands out, lived with contestant jumpers.
Well, we know how great Bryce is. Talk a little bit about Shea Ili's efforts in those second quarter.
That's why we love Shea, man. We think he's the best defender in the league. He works his butt off, offensive, defensively, possession after possession. All you can do is make it tough on guys like that, and that's what we're trying to do.
Thanks, mate. Good luck in the second half. Well, if history tells us anything, this one's going right down to the wire. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Great to have your company from John Cain Arena in Melbourne. As we look at the Hungry Jacks highlights of the opening half. A 20-point turnaround. Melbourne United from 15 down to 5 up.
Tale of 2 quarters, wasn't it? The Wildcats getting really whatever they wanted in the opening half. Mitch Norton and Bryce Cotton especially putting points on the board. And Cotton was just all kinds of difficult to guard early doors. Put 16 quick points on the board. The Wildcats leading by 13 at quarter time, and then everything changed in the second term. Melbourne 3 straight stops out of the quarter time huddle. Timeout the Wildcats, but they didn't solve many problems as Melbourne United just continued to pile it on. They shot 14 from 22 from the field in that second quarter. Melbourne 6 of 10 from long range. They were getting it in transition, getting it in the half court. 37 points. And just turned this game completely on its head. Golding and Luala-Chul combining for 30. Cotton and Norton leading the way for the Wildcats. And we've got ourselves a ball game.
That's how you want to see your home team come back in the second quarter. You know they didn't play their basketball. As you said, it was down on 15. What did Coach Vickerman say to them at the end of that first quarter? You know he got in their behinds and they came out and played the right way. But shout out to Shea Illy in that second quarter, what he was able to do at both ends, but mainly quiet Cotton. And as a result of that, that's why they got the lead, because all that did was turn into transition baskets, easy looks. Chris Goulding got going, JLA got going, and they look good because of that, and they're up by 5.
You were worried no one would be able to shut down Bryce Cotton.
I was worried. I mean, 16 points. But let's see if we can do that in the second half. He did a great job in that second quarter.
Can he stop him for another half?
No. No, I don't think so.
You get to see a response from the Wildcats, 100%. Too good a team, and Bryce Cotton in particular. But they need to get a couple of other guys going as well. Vic Law, 8 points in that first half. Need to find him his shots. Todd Blanchfield, he had a donut last week. He's got 0 again at halftime here. Got to find him some more good looks.
You liking it, though, what we're seeing unfold? It's going to be a seesawing game, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these are the two best teams in the league right now. Top of the table, first and second, and they're throwing haymakers at each other.
Been a big night so far. Great to have your company wherever you're watching. It's a big night for Jesse Wagstaff, the milestone man, and our guy, Melbourne United Championship winner Pete Hurley, caught up with him during the week.
Mr. 400, so you almost started your NBL career at a different club. Can you tell us how you ended up with the Wildcats?
I did. Went to college at Metro State, and you know that's got a bit of an Aussie pipeline. There's been some legends that have gone through there, and they had the link with Dunlap and Gorgon, so it was kind of assumed that just after college I'd go to wherever Gorge was pretty much. So in discussions with Dragons, and learnt pretty much the day before or day after they went bankrupt that there was no longer a club, which wasn't the greatest news. We hadn't really spoken to anyone else, but fortuitously Rob Beveridge got the job at Perth, and I'd known him through juniors, and my mum had actually taught him in primary school, so kind of a family connection there, and lucky enough to get a gig at Perth and been there ever since.
Well, 400 games later, and you're part of one of the most successful sporting organisations in Australia, in the world. What's it meant to you to be part of the club like the Perth Wildcats?
It's been a hell of a ride. You know, I think the 400 games is special, but the fact that I could do it with a club like the Wildcats, I think for me is even more special. You know, it's got a rich history. It comes with a bit of pressure. But we get well supported, the front office and the fans. It's well known the support we get. So just lucky. I mean, it's just a fortunate position I found myself in.
There's been a lot of greats that have gone through the Perth organisation. 20 years ago, Ricky Grace picks over the 400. Now you get to be in a category with a bloke like him. How does that feel?
Well, he's almost at 500, so there's no chance I'm catching him. But yeah, that's kind of cool too to join Ricky in the 400 club. That's a huge honour because he's a legend of the club and the legend of Perth.
A lot of people just want to win one championship in their professional career. You've won 6. Anyone that's particularly stood out for you?
They kind of all meld into one. I do remember the first pretty well. Like, as I said, I was lucky enough to win one in the first year, but I think after that I kind of thought that's what happens every year, and it's not the case. A lot of hard work. Probably the one, Bryce's first one as well. I think we were kind of bottom of the table come Christmas time, and a lot of people had written us off, and then BC came in and he's decent player and kind of rescued us, and we went on a roll kind of through January, February, March, and ended up winning it, which was pretty satisfying as well.
The maintaining of success for the Wildcats year in, year out, what are those particular aspects that make Perth so hard to beat throughout a whole season?
Look, I think there's a lot of things, to be honest. You know, I think having good players and good people is one. Good support, great front office, and luck. I mean, you obviously need to prepare and work hard, but there's 9 other clubs right now that are preparing and working hard as well. So you need to stay injury free. You need to play the right way, and you need a bit of luck as well.
Great teams need people like Jesse Wagstaff.
For sure. So humble, such a winner, and a ripping bloke.
Legendary. I mean, just to hear how he got to Perth, just none but respect for that.
6 championships so far. Who knows? He could add a 7th and be completely unique with a 7th this season. Stick around. Second half to come. Melbourne United by 5. The 2 best teams in the NBL the past 6 seasons, and maybe again this season. Coming to you prime time on a Saturday night. Great to have your company from John Cain Arena in Melbourne. Second half underway after Melbourne United put on a clinic in that second quarter, led by Chris Golding, who hands it out to Jack White. Shea Ellie thought he was going to get it. Frazier stole it. 3 to beat and puts Ellie to the deck. And again, the crowd loving every piece of Shea Ellie's work.
It's fantastic in transition. Just gets his body. Timed it right. Frazier runs right over him. Easy call. Melbourne ball.
Golding. Jack White. Wildcats found a gap where there wasn't one. Puts it an early 2.
So talented. His ability to shoot the 3, fake, and still put the ball on the deck and finish in traffic.
This is not a good sign for Wildcats fans. Vic Law was underneath Wildcats there as he finished at the rim. He's in a bad way on the deck. Oh, might have just copped a knee in the wrong spot.
Pete Hurley.
Guys, I caught up with Dean Vickerman just quickly as he came out of halftime and asked him what he was going to do this half on Bryce Cotton. He said, look, Shea Lee's been terrific, but you can never have just one player try and lock up Bryce Cotton. It only works if Shea Lee trusts that 4 guys have his back. They're all ready to help and rotate. But again, couldn't speak highly enough of what he did in that last 10 minutes, but it's a whole different ball game in the last 20.
You see he gets rewarded with the start here in the 3rd quarter. Daly on the bench, Shea Lee continuing to chase Bryce Cotton around. Down the other end, Mitch Norton's doing that job on Chris Golding. Fascinating to watch these premier defenders do their work at each end of the floor.
Frazier passed up the chance of the shot. Vic Law's going to have to put it up. 2 left, 1 left. Got it.
Nice take, much needed basket. Hopefully that's something that can get him going if you're a Wildcat fan. He's just 4 of 12 from the field.
Wildcats, a big teardrop, and the lid put on it by Jack White.
Frustrating for Scott Morrison. Giving up offensive rebounds. Vic Law just did not put a body on Jack White. Fundamental basketball, block out and clear the boards.
Vic Law, he owes them one. Didn't get them one. Madjuk tried to retrieve it, couldn't save it.
Those offensive boards a bit of an issue for the Wildcat. There's Tones and I. United's #1 ticket holder. Put on a performance at halftime last week.
Maybe a duo with Danny Minogue tonight. Could have been on the go for Tones and I.
Those offensive boards. Melbourne have 9 offensive boards to Perth's 13 defensive. As the Wildcats misses there, Agata cleans it up and scores. It's 10 offensive rebounds. Now, they've almost grabbed 50% of available rebounds off their own misses. Scott Morrison will not be pleased.
Out to 9 points now. Bryce Cotton trying to pull them back, missed it. Agata, he's got a spring in his step as well. Hits baseline and jammed under the bucket by Norton, who's called for the foul.
It's a good take. He had a mismatch. Goes to the line for 2, but in this game, last few games actually, he's struggling offensively. And whenever you get an opportunity to get in transition and try to get an easy one, that's exactly what you do. He's up to 7 points and 7 rebounds.
Talked about it a bit. His highest score in the past 4 games has been 8 points. Got 8 now. I can make it 9.
Okay.
On a roll now. Norton. Wildcats started on fire when he was on fire. Fire's been doused. Hands it up. And Wildcats in the air as Madjuk go to the line. Only 59% from the stripe. Madjuk. Such a bad place to put him, and there is Aussie basketball royalty Matthew Dellavedova having a rest. First one missed for Mr. 59%. Dean Vickerman, an animation in his face, some colour back in his face. Crowd screaming for burgers, and they get them. Free Hungry Jack's burgers. Use the code UNITE if you're in Victoria. Going from bad to worse at the moment. The Wildcats and Joe Wildcats, a little bit of salt into the wound.
Beautiful setup from Shea Lee. They're playing through Wildcats right now to begin this second half. A couple of quick buckets for the big fella. Right there, Shayeli. Wing pick and roll. Lob pass beautifully set up above the rim.
Well, it's getting dangerous now for the Wildcats. They're going to have to start by shutting down this man.
18 points in 18 minutes. Always aggressive. This is one man. Make or miss, he's going. And he's going hard. You can see an easy finish. There's no matchup on the court for him, so he really has an opportunity to take full advantage of the defender. The ball is finding him. The teammates are doing a really good job of getting him in places where he could finish plays, and Chris Goulding catches him in transition easy. It's been a dunk fest in this game for him, and he's really looking good. Shayeli right there. Alley-oop finish, and gotta be impressed with his performance. Coming off that, what he had, 26 and 21? 18 and 8 right now.
First Melbourne United player ever to do it. 20 and 20, 26 points, 21 rebounds.
Couple more games like this, you know who's calling for him. The Big Show. He is putting on.
Well, Dean Vickerman spoke about that during the week. He said, when we played NBA teams in preseason a couple of years ago in LA against the Clippers, in Sacramento against the Kings, Joe Luala-Chul played major minutes at the 4 alongside Jock Landale, looked at home in that setting, and I was there for those games. He was absolutely sensational. As Melbourne take this one away.
Goulding thought about going coast to coast, pulls up for the 3. Frazier. Wildcats dodge a bullet there. Down by 13. Goulding kicks it away. Almost a familiar tale for the Wildcats. Last 5 games they've been down a few times and won them. Down by 18 against Cairns, won by 6. Down by 15 against South East Melbourne Phoenix, won by 22. Down by 13 against Illawarra, won by 16. So their biggest turnarounds, a 37-point turnaround. So they can get it going. White fouls Law.
Michael Frazier's probably been watching a little Hugo Besson. Look at the short tuck he's got going on.
It's a bit like Smoking Joe Frazier with those tucked up shorts, taking on Ali. Cotton, floater. And that's been the tale of the last quarter for the superstar. Step aside 3. Not this time either. Gone a little cold. White, Wagstaff knew exactly what he wanted to do. Didn't fall for the look away. Frazier gets it back. Not a lot to go to Law. To Cotton. Bryce is back.
Great look from Vic Law. Had Shayeli down there on the block. Could have just gone to work. But saw his superstar teammate open on the arc. Mitch Norton, he's coming up sore. Grabbing that left forearm. You see him in the background there. It's his shoulder, actually, heavily strapped shoulder, Nordo, and he is in all kinds of pain.
Had that problem before. It can fix itself quickly if it's a little half out, half in with the shoulder.
Let's give it a little nudge.
Should be okay, as it doesn't stay out. Tough unit.
Very tough.
Shaking it off. Ready to go. 10-point game.
They're going to need him. Mitch Norton. We've spoken about his attack on the rim early doors. That hasn't really been there in the last quarter and a bit, but defensively against Chris Goulding, who shook loose in that second quarter, 16 second quarter points. Mitch Norton at the start of this third has been tracking him closely.
Perth Wildcats have been in Melbourne for a while. They've been on the road for a while. Next few games still on the road. They got the good news during the week. They're headed home for a stretch. Daddy Minogue in the house. Tones and I in the house. Where else in the world would you rather be on a Saturday night than a first versus second battle at John Cain Arena? Agata got it back, and the floater didn't go. Still a United ball. Delhi with the inbound.
Beautiful legs.
Oh my goodness. For Joe Luala-Jewell.
It's just a dunk fest. Great offense, good backdoor screen, back screen.
Well, they didn't pick it, the Wildcats. That play's been on display all season, ever since the preseason. Back cut, back pick, sorry, on Wagstaff. Easy bucket for Luala-Jewell.
Luala-Jewell rejects Wagstaff. That time Frazier under the bucket, tried to get Luala-Jewell in the air. He worried him out of it. Peedling the rebound, then back down the floor again. Matthew Dellavedova. Cotton wearing him. Delhi feeds it. And the reverse from Agata, who's found his form. Wildcats on the ropes. Vic Law. Wagstaff just waits. Single figure shot clock. Vic Law. Peedling wearing him. Stripped. Dellavedova picked his pocket. Golding. The alley-oop didn't quite work. Threw it up, but threw it up wide. Agata saved the day. Dellavedova. Plenty of clock still. Little skip in. Wagstaff wears him. That is a man of class right there. Matthew Dellavedova. Played with LeBron, played with Kyrie, Kevin Love. Floater doesn't work for Bryce Cotton. Travers was there, couldn't get the putback. It's gone awry quickly for the Wildcats, and Agata. He's loving his night at the office.
Oh, man. They just cannot stop the Brock. The Wildcats 18-5 since halftime.
It's just been fantastic defense since halftime by Melbourne United. Holding a potent offensive team in the Perth Wildcats to 5 points. It's seriously impressive.
Scott Morrison's got some problems. See how he plans to dig their way out of this. Cautiously drawing it up. Can't let them get out to a bigger margin than this.
Go forwards with that alignment. Okay? Down here, we're going to go to 50. All right? Just got to take them out of their actions, keep them out of the paint. If you have to go double in the paint, do it. Okay? Just trust your instincts. All right? Don't try to get it all back in one possession. Just get good shots. Attack, kick it, take what they give us. Come on.
Peter Hurley with a little bit of injury news.
Yeah, guys, we know how tough Mitch Norton is. We've seen it throughout his whole career, and he went through a few tests, and the shoulder was already taped, so it's just been something that's obviously been re-aggravated. But in terms of what the Perth Wildcats have to say, they have nothing to update. So whether he's available or plays, they're going to need him if you think they're going to have to step up on the defensive end, and we know how tough he is. So we'll see how he goes, but no real update given from Perth.
Trying to work out whether that's a test or a thumbs up. I think it's a test.
Is it a test from Chris Golding?
Big Law. Wildcats need a hero in a hurry. Blanchfield. Vic Law. Agata pulls it down. They can smell some more blood here, United. Agata, coast to coast, rattles it home.
They're just getting easy offense in transition off defensive stops. Corey spoke about it. 5 points for the Wildcats here in this third term. And after every defensive rebound, Melbourne United pushing it.
Out to 20, Agata. Rejected. Nicely read by Vic Law. Bryce draws the foul. Matthew Dellavedova doesn't quite agree.
Nice take by Agata. Up to 15 points and 8 rebounds. Getting all of his money in transition and one backdoor in the half-court set, but doing a really good job pushing the ball down the throat of Perth Wildcats every chance they get.
Law puts up the rainbow three. Long road back from 20 down. Dellavedova, little nudge by Ariel Porty with the hook.
Interesting thing for me about all this, Wildcats down 20 here against the defending champs. I mean, this is the big test, right? I mean, how do you go against Perth? How do you go against Melbourne United? They're testing each other tonight, and for the Wildcats, their big issues, apart from those slow first quarters, have been rebounding. They've given up double-digit offensive rebounds here and defensive transition. And both of those issues coming home to roost tonight.
Frazier. Norton coming back out. He started on fire. He's trying to relight the fire now for his team. Tender led by 15 earlier in this game, the Wildcats, if you weren't with us. Dellavedova. Peatling. Newley. Stepped on the line, Wildcats ball.
Oh, is that offensive foul?
Oh, it is.
40. He's just shoving people.
Wow. He just sees a mismatch. Get a little bit too anxious and hype. Wants that ball.
He checks out. Third personal. You sit down with the assistant coaches, big fella, and we'll talk this through.
Oh, yeah.
Just threw him to the floor. So you got to get that high-low action going.
Testing out that Mitch Norton shoulder on the way through. Mitch tests it out himself.
That is rebound number 10 for Caleb Agata. Double-double.
Draws the Norton foul.
I like that from Agata. Trying to work his way through those struggles of recent times. We snapped that single-digit scoring game streak. 15 and 10, nice double-double.
Oh, yeah. Give me some love. I deserve a bit of love.
Say, can't you hear him talking about me? Plus 20 in the plus-minus. Excellent game so far.
Golding calling the shots. A heat check for Chris Golding. And Luala Chul to save the day. Delhi from long range from another postcode. Matthew Dellavedova. NBA range. Norton in some trouble. Wagstaff gets a much needed two for his team. This one slipping away by the second. Delhi. Chul lost it. Pocket pick. Norton quickly down the floor. Cotton and drops it in. And some momentum back. One minute left to three-quarter time. Delhi draws a crowd. Flicked away, Wagstaff. Blanchfield passed up the long range. Took it inside and got it to go. Big minute for the Wildcats.
And that is Todd Blanchfield's first field goal of the game.
Chul, Chris Golding. See if he can stop the rock. Gave it back to Dellavedova. To Newley from outside. He joins the party. Brad Newley.
Well done by Melbourne United there. Mitch Norton helping out on Chris Golding. Great help, but United found the open man. Norton couldn't get back, and Newley stuck it. Meanwhile, they lose Bryce Cotton down the other end.
Flicked it out of the cylinder.
Done a good job, the Wildcats, these last couple of minutes of this third quarter, just to hang tough.
So that shot clock, game clock differential to end this quarter. See if they can get a stop and a bucket. They get the stop. Bryce Cotton sizing up the bucket. This is normally Bryce Cotton time. Seconds ticking down. They get it out of his hands. And foul is no. Wow, they coughed that up with 6 seconds left because they all crowded Bryce and got it out of his hands.
And that's what Dean Vickerman was talking about when he spoke to Pete Hooley at halftime. Yeah, Daly and Illy are going to do a great job on Bryce Cotton. Everyone needs to be ready to help out. And they help defense through the offensive foul.
Illy, seconds ticking down, hands it up, Golding on the buzzer, couldn't land it. But they've landed a few big punches in the last 2 quarters, the home team. Melbourne United making a statement. Wildcats on the ropes, 61-79. Quarter to play in this top of the table battle at John Cain Arena in Melbourne. But we've seen this movie before with the Perth Wildcats. They've been behind by double figures in all of their last 5 games. Down by 18 against Cairns and won. Down by 15 against South East Melbourne Phoenix and won. Down by 13 against Illawarra and won that by 16.
We've seen this before. Perth will find a way to win this game.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wagstaff for the hook. Didn't drop.
They passed all my tests so far, they passed. I have no reason to believe they're not going to figure a way to get this W.
Agana, who's turned it on from outside. White stripped, got it back. Feeds it back out. Chris Golding, like the look of it. He passed that to Joe Luala-Chul. That was perfection.
Easy pickings down low. Bryce Cotton on Joe Luala-Chul. Good decision from Chris Golding. Offensive foul.
Kevin White.
Rough start for the Wildcats to begin this 4th quarter.
Peter Hooley.
I was listening to Scott Morrison at 3/4 time, man. You're right, you can never count out the Wildcats. He was saying we've just got to chip away, just possession by possession. On the offensive end, if they manage to get a score and set up their defense, look for a little bit of a box and one on Chris Golding. Just throw it and junk it up, and they're in that right now. Just in a box and one. If he gets a screen, he might have to switch out to him. That's what Kevin White's job is right now. Do not let Chris Golding touch the ball. Let's see what else Melbourne United can do.
Jack White. And through the hands of Shaley as the clock expires.
Well, I like it as a mix-up. Something junky to throw at him to see if you can create some chaos. But Joe Luala-Chul's really the guy that's giving him trouble. Golding didn't score in that 3rd quarter at all. Meanwhile, JLA has 22 and 11 and is feasting. 10 of 15 from the field.
This is the guy, Bryce Cotton.
And 3 blocks.
Hands it up. From outside, And even Kevin White can't land one. Caleb Agata feeds it up. Golding and White stripped. Still a Melbourne United ball.
Good weak side defense by Cotton coming down, because that would have erupted this arena.
Gata danced past them, couldn't finish. Still a United ball.
Jeez, they're little out there, the Wildcats. You know they're missing Matt Hodgson. Here's the back cut and the find, and great hands from Cotton to send it away. Wagstaff at the 5, Todd Blanchfield at the 4, and then 3 Littles.
Golding. Foul on his way. 20-point margin. Winner of this top spot tonight.
I like the fact that Melbourne United have continued to put pressure on the rim at the basket. Everybody, they're not settling for threes.
Chris Golding gave it some thought. Still likes his chances. Long range 2. Agata.
Rebound number 12.
Illy. Bryce Cotton. What Bryce wants to do here. And get it out of his hands again to Mitch Norton. Blanchfield. Back to Norton. Tough hook off the glass. Got it to go.
Tough.
Got a look in his eye.
He is ready as it comes. Mitch Norton, saw how much pain he was in with his shoulder earlier. We've seen this movie before, of course, playing through pain right through the final series last year, and he goes to that left hand, rolls through that left shoulder for the N1 finish.
80% from the stripe, Mitch Norton. Ultra reliable. Still some life for the Wildcats. Milestone man Jesse Wagstaff in game 400 having a rest. Golding tried to land a punch to the jaw, but it only causes a turnover. Blanchfield gave it some thought. Kevin White never really wanted to take the shot. Straight back at you. Crook shoulder and all, Mitch Norton.
And the moment I said, I love the fact that they kept attacking the basket and not just shooting threes. They just started shooting perimeter shots, and now it's a 14-point game.
Agata from outside again lets it fire. Straight back down the floor. Blanchfield under the bucket.
Timeout.
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 You cannot execute against the box and 1 right now. Dean Vickerman calls for time.
We have got ourselves a ball game. Just when you thought it was slipping away. Do not discount the Perth Wildcats.
There's an eternity left. 81-69. 7 minutes to come. So remind me, did you actually pick the Wildcats to win at three-quarter time?
You guaranteed it.
I guaranteed that they would win.
Wanted to make sure
Thanks,
I heard
Liam,
what
for
I
reminding me. Reminding me.
Well, they're coming strong.
That's why we pay you the big bucks, Corey.
Great little change-up from Scott Morrison. Had to change something. Can't just keep banging your head against the wall. And it was an unexpected change for the reasons we highlighted, but it's worked. It has confused Melbourne at the offensive end. It's slowed them down, stalled them. And the Wildcats are storming their way back.
He sparked them early, and of all people to spark them, the guy who went off with a shoulder issue has done it again in this final quarter.
Gutsy performance. Needs to keep it up.
Now, do they stay in the box of one? They do. Melbourne United surely going to make the focus of their bigs on the interior. JLA out, put 40 in.
White. Lost it again. Wasted a few chances. Wildcats, the belief is high. Blanchfield with 40, the rebound. Dellavedova to settle down the troops. Weaving his way past a couple, puts the floater up and got the friendly bounce. White. Cotton. Delhi making it tough for him. Wants it back. Blanchfield won't. Rejected. Hook. 40 under the bucket. Says not in my house.
That is how you protect the rim. You go up there with that one-hand pump layup. I'm sending that back to WA. Get that out of here. Great defense by the young fella. That's why Vickerman believes in him. Because of plays like that, he has the ability to make.
4 seconds left, shot clock. Wildcats need the inbound to a shooter. Blanchfield is that man. Todd Blanchfield.
Right back at you, United.
Just keeping their head above water. The Wildcats got to keep getting stops. Still down double digits.
Barlow from the top. It's been a little cold lately. Vic Law, huge rebound. The belief is still high from the Wildcats. An eternity left. Just under 6 minutes. And this is Cotton time. You know it's Bryce time. Doesn't land that one. And whose ball? Melbourne United dodge a bullet there.
He got a really good look there. Bryce Cotton, these are the important possessions right here. Yeah, 5 minutes still to play, but they can't trade buckets. Got to claw it back in these next minute or so.
Agata, long range two, rattles out. The tide's turned. Still an 11-point margin. But Bryce to Blanchfield to Vic Law. Step back three. Wow.
Well, he just hasn't been there tonight, Vic Law. 4 of 16 from the field. They need more.
Carter, wow. It's like there's glad wrap on it all of a sudden. For Melbourne United, Bryce Cotton, Cotton time. It's Cotton o'clock.
Corey's rubbing his hands.
8-point game.
Corey Homicide Williams picked this when they were 18 down at three-quarter time. A nerve settler from basketball royalty. Everyone loves their local deli. Matthew Dellavedova delivers.
Big hit by Delhi.
Vic Law, Blanchfield, up. Sidestep. Agile, huge rebound. And off Golding, they save it. Garner. He might have turned it over. He has. Bryce, layup. And he knows. And so, too, does Dean Vickerman.
Chaos. This is the chaos that the Wildcats have created out of that Scott Morrison timeout. Bryce Cotton, big hit in a big moment. Matthew Dellavedova with the response down the other end. But the box and one has worked. It's jumped it up. 16-7 in this fourth quarter. Single-digit game.
They need to put JLA back in the game because that's where the production and points are coming from. Things have gone wrong since the boxing one, but they've settled for jump shots.
They didn't go at him.
They didn't go at him and give him the ball.
Strangely, Golding got even more aggressive against the box and one. Joe Luala-Chul became a spectator, and now he's sitting on the pine.
Hook Porty, Shaili, Dellavedova goes again. Not this time. Stop by stop. The Wildcats have been able to claw their way back. Bryce Cotton, Blanchfield, Vic Law. Foul called on Hook Porty.
Frustration for Law. That was the shot. They found the right shot. Unselfish from Cotton and Blanchfield. Law now 4 of 17 from the field. Having himself a rough one.
Enter JLA. 23% from the field.
Long range. Oh my goodness. Mitch Norton lighting it up again.
Oh, here they come. 2-possession game. I told you, Liam. It ain't over. D-Russ, I told you who's going to win this game.
You did.
All right.
From 18 down, you told me. Delhi, floater off the glass, delivers.
This is coming up big. Steadying baskets. 2 floaters and a 3-ball from Delhi in this 4th quarter.
Blanchfield almost fouled flat off the rim. Delhi again. Spin move. Oh, on the lazy Susan. Spun around, dropped it in.
Big quarter by Delhi. Making plays when it matters most.
Back to 10. Vic Law. Got one.
They need stops though. Matthew Dellavedova ticking the scoreboard over for United, keeping the Wildcats at bay.
Shaley wants some seconds off the clock. Well, he thinks it through. He drew the foul his way through the gap.
It's been much more effective for Melbourne since they've turned Chris Goulding into a screener. Then you bring his defender to the ball, set a screen on the ball, and your guy doesn't want to leave you. And it's as a result, Delhi's been able to get into the lane, Illy into the lane right there, and they've started to solve the problem of this box and one.
Peter Hooley courtside.
Well, they have. Liam the box and one, and now it's Mitch Norton who's on Chris Goulding. And we've seen this story so many times, just the toughness, the heart that Mitch Norton plays. When he came off, couldn't lift his shoulder above his head. And then when he was sitting down for a little bit, Scott Morrison, when he wanted to put that box and one in, looked at him and Kevin Wyatt. He said, just throw me in there. I'll get through it. He'll deal with the pain later. It's just night after night, he leaves absolutely everything out there. And if they want to get back and win this game, it's going to have a lot to do with what Mitch Norton does.
1 of 2 only. Bryce Cotton. Time is of the essence now for Bryce. Step back 3. It's his forte. Bryce Cotton.
That is as tough as it gets. You cannot contest that any better.
Back to a 2-possession game. 2 minutes left. That's the equation. Matthew Dellavedova. He's been the saviour. Step back 2. Wow.
Matthew Dellavedova coming up huge. 18 points. Bryce Cotton, step back. Nothing but net. Can't play any defense better than that. Great offense, Delhi.
Well, he's an offensive juggernaut.
Off the one leg.
This 4th quarter.
Coming up big.
That's 11 4th quarter points for Delhi.
Cotton up to 31.
Equals his highest ever against Melbourne United.
I'm just checking to make sure his 3 was a 3. Good time to check it now. Staying with a 3. 93-85, 144 left. And it's living up to the expectation. Top of the table battle. First versus second. The feed to Vic Law. Hands it to the milestone man. He can't land it. Law pulls it back out. Wagstaff gave up the shot instead. Tough under the bucket. And Melbourne United get the stop. Crowd roaring. More seconds off the clock. Ball in the hands of Illy. Calm, composed. Matthew Dellavedova. Vic Law down to 1 minute. Jack White forces him back out to Cotton, knocked away by Illy. They got to check it to see whose ball it is. 1 minute left.
1 minute remaining. 93-85.
Are you going to have a timeout? We're going to decide on whose ball it is before you have the timeout.
Checking this in the replay centre to see who had the last touch. They're watching the screens, you're watching at home. You can also zoom in on their screens. Timeout's been called. We knew it would go down to the wire. That's exactly what it's done. Well, Corey knew.
I thought at 18-point margin at three-quarter time, Melbourne would be able to hold off. Now, looks like they will, but geez, the Wildcats certainly have made things interesting.
Running out of time, the Wildcats. Who's shot to take? And the layup for Norton. They left him free, of all people. 50 seconds left. Can they get the stop? Nearly on the deck. They do. Wagstaff, Cotton, danced inside, handed it over. Golding can't keep it in. It's still a Wildcats ball. 2-possession game, 6-point game. Crowd getting a little restless. Not one person in the crowd has reached for the car keys just yet. Golding tried to calm things down. Vic Law's gone a little cold, so it might be Bryce Cotton's to use here. Norton with the inbound, Blanchfield there, hands it up to Law, danced it inside, and plucked by White. Big stop.
Elite defense from Jack White, the second-year pro.
Great defense. The second-year pro gets it.
Dellavedova. More seconds off the clock. Golding. You know he wants the final say. You know Goldie wants the final say. He couldn't land the knockout blow, but that'll do anyway. Chris Golding might land it. Inside, back outside. And they can dribble it out now. The crowd rises one. Melbourne United own top spot on the Hungry Jacks NBL ladder.
Big win for Melbourne. 2-game losing streak snapped. Statement win over the Wildcats. Big heart from the Wildcats, fighting back in this fourth quarter. And there were contributors right across the board. Cotton was spectacular, 31. Norton outstanding, 21. And for Melbourne United, some big names putting up big numbers. Joe Lawala-Chul had 22. Daly huge in the fourth quarter with 18. Chris Golding with 16. But you know what? Shea Yili for the Foot Locker player of the game, because he turned this game on its head in the second quarter. Bryce Cotton was lighting it up. It was all going Perth Wildcats' way. And what Shea Yili did in that second quarter completely changed the game.
I agree 100%. And he was knocking down threes. He made a lot of the right plays on offense, but defensively, cooling the jets of Bryce Cotton when they needed it most changed the whole game.
We hope for a classic. We got one. These two teams could meet again in the playoffs. They could meet again in the grand final series as they did last season. As we head downstairs to Peter Hooley.
I'm with one of the men of the moments right now, Caleb Agata. Big game. You know Perth were never going to lay down. How'd you get that win in the end?
Sorry, what?
How'd you get that win in the end?
We knew it was
going to be a big game. This was the finals last year, so Coach did a good job motivating us and let us know how big this game is, not only for right now, but for the entire season. How do you see your game tonight? You've been a bit down on form in the last couple of games. Big one from you tonight. What changed? Just knowing how important this game is. This is a finals game, so I got to come out and show what I'm really made of. So that's all I had in my mind. And you've got some elite defenders on your team, Matthew Dellavedova, but Shea Illy's efforts on Bryce Cotton. How is it to play alongside a guy like Shea Illy? It's amazing. Shea's such a good guy, great teammate. He comes in every day, works, and competes every day. So he makes everybody better, and he did his show. He was himself tonight. So. Now, you don't want to look too far forward, but you've got a throwdown coming up against Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. What do you have to do to prepare for that game? I think we're ready for that game. We just got to stay focused and just be ready, but the motivation's there, and we just got to show up, and we're excited to play. Great win. Congratulations.
You don't have long to wait. That's this coming Thursday night. The throwdown. Caleb Agata. Been under a bit of pressure, but boy, he delivered.
He was good. Always plays hard, Caleb Agatas. Had some foul trouble in recent games and struggled from long range. Tonight, not hugely efficient. 6 of 17 from the field, but look how hard he plays. Look how hard he goes after loose balls and rebounds. Cutting off the ball, making plays. 5 offensive rebounds, 13 boards overall. 15 points, able to slice and dice and make plays off the dribble. Good, solid all-round performance from Agata tonight.
And it came in a game that mattered most. As he said, Coach got them motivated. He wanted to put on, get the win, and play good. And he did that.
93-87, the final scoreline. If you like what you saw tonight, don't forget tomorrow. It is going to be huge. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, they believe they're contenders. And the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers, arguably the hottest team in the comp. Although maybe the Sydney Kings could be. They're on the rise up the Hungry Jacks NBL22 ladder. And the Bullets, don't forget about us. That's tomorrow. Put that in your diary. Should be another ripper afternoon. Hungry Jacks NBL22 hoops.
Now let the games begin. Now let the games begin. I'ma always win.
Hungry Jacks highlights aplenty under the Saturday night lights. The two top teams in the competition. The best two teams for the last 6 seasons turned it on. Melbourne United getting the job done.
Great game. Great game. Right from the opening tip, the Wildcats came out ferocious. Dominant first quarter display. Melbourne United punched back in the second term. Chris Golding got going, and so did Joe Wallachul. 22 and 13 from the best centre in the league.
There's a few things that, in order to beat Perth Wildcats, you have to do. You have to keep ticking the scoreboard over. You got to do it by committee. You got to hit threes. You got to punish them every chance you get. You got to rebound the ball. Melbourne United did all 3 of those. Outside of that first quarter, they played a hell of a game.
Bryce Cotton was big, 31 points. Dellavedova enormous in that fourth quarter to seal the win for Melbourne United. And there you see the leading scorers. Delhi and Joe Wallachul combining for 40. Cotton and Norton combining for 52. They just didn't have enough from the bigs. Vic Law in particular, 12, but a costly 12, 5 of 18 from the field. And look at the rebounding count. An issue for the Wildcats. I'm not sure they're big enough to win this title, even with Matt Hodgson in the lineup. And they got beasted on the boards tonight. And you got to credit Shea Yilly as well. We spoke about him in the post-game. Turned the game. Yes, Bryce Cotton ended with 31, but he put the clamps on him in that second quarter. And at the same time, went down the other end, knocked down threes. There's the stat line. 11 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds from the Foot Locker player of the game. But the numbers don't go anywhere near telling the story, the impact he had on the game in that second term.
And you know what? The second-year pro beat about the 7th-year pro in Vic Law. Shout out to Jack White. They don't lose when he's playing. And today, for me, at that power forward position, I wanted to see how good defensively, individually was he. And what he showed tonight going up against Vic Law, a seasoned vet, an NBA player. How you shut him down today. 5 of 18 from the field, 12 points. Great work, young fella.
So Shea Yilly is our Foot Locker player of the game because Liam Santamaria has a lot of influence when it comes to naming the... Joe Wallachul fans out there might be a little upset because his highlight reel is going to be one to behold.
But he was sensational. 22 points, highly efficient, 10 of 15 from the field, and they couldn't handle him. They really, as we said throughout the game, they had no matchup for Joe Wallachul. This team, like a lot of teams, don't have a matchup for JLA, and a lot of the time, though, he was at the end of good plays from his teammates, setting him up, and he was finishing at the rim. There he shows his versatile skill set, steps out and knocks that down. He can get out in transition. He knows exactly where the camera is, getting everything done. 22 points, 13 rebounds, 3 blocks. He's just destroying the league right now.
The best center in the NBL. Wayne McDaniel, I hope you hear me out there. Steve Carafino, I hope you hear me out there too. I see y'all in them Facebook groups when I post stuff. You come back with me and say other names. We put those names to rest. Joe Wallachul, the best center in the NBL.
Let's have a look at the Amy ladder because it was a night to behold when it came to the top 2 teams in the competition putting on a show. Melbourne United jumped to top. Perth Wildcats, not a lot to worry about given they're going to have a big finish of home games at the end of this regular season. They're away for another couple of weeks and then they all head home where they haven't been for a while and they are very, very comfortable at home.
That's great news for the Wildcats. And don't worry, they'll be right in the thick of things at the pointy end of proceedings. Don't be fooled by that 6th place for the Sydney Kings, though. They are coming for the top 4 right now.
So who do you like for your top 4 placings?
Listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm jumping on the Sydney Kings bandwagon. Illawarra, I'm done with you. Sydney, with Clark coming in? He coming in shape. Sydney Kings in the top 4. I'm done with Illawarra.
You got the win?
I'm done with Illawarra.
I thought Dwight Reith was grand final MVP.
Nah, I thought so too, man, but nah, I'm done with Illawarra. They just want to shoot jump shots all the time. I'm not convinced with that win against Kansas.
Gee, you jumped off quick. They can't turn it around.
It don't take much for me to jump off. I've seen enough.
Hey, we said it during the call, but before we wrap, big congrats, Jesse Wagstaff. Big milestone win. Big milestone game for that legend today.
One of the all-time greats and still a contender to win a 7th championship. That's what's on offer tomorrow and Monday night. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix and the hottest team in the comp, the Tasmania Jack Jumpers, followed by the Sydney Kings and the Brisbane Bullets, 2 genuine contenders for the top 4 as well. And on Monday night, Cairns Taipans at home again, and they'll be a lot better at home. Thanks for your company tonight. Been an absolute pleasure to bring it to you. It was a classic, and Melbourne United got the job done, 93 to 87.
Name something I ain't done. Name a body that's my type. Air Jordan, I'll take flight. I'm next level, I'm franchise. I'm top tier, I'm that guy. I'm the man of the year. I'm a man with no fear.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Trade.
Thanks for waiting, everybody. We'll get right underway. Just a reminder to use the raise hand function if you do have a question down at the bottom of your screen, and stay on mute whilst you are not talking. And we'll get right into it. Roy Ward, if you'd like to start us off.
G'day Scott, g'day Mitch. Scott, what's your thoughts on the game, mate, and how it all played out today?
Well, I just said in the locker room, we're going to have to check the film to be sure, but I think that we let ourselves down a little bit in the second and third quarter by not trusting each other on defense and forcing a little bit offensively. And you got to give them credit. They really did a number on us on the glass. Seemed like any time we had a chance to kind of get back into it or needed a big stop and got a miss, they ended up getting a second chance. So that was pretty rough on us. And again, yeah, you got to give them credit for not deviating from their game plan when they went down in the first quarter.
What made you go to the box and one in the last quarter? Was that just to try and throw something different at them, or did you have that one sort of in the back pocket waiting to use it?
No, couldn't tell you the last time I called for a box and one at any level, but I felt like we just need to try something different. Put Kevin White in the game. He hasn't played in a couple games. Thought he gave us great energy, and maybe just try and shift the momentum a little bit. And whether that had something to do with it or not, they started to dice it up pretty good later in the quarter, but it did help us get back in the game, I think.
The rebound differential has sort of hit you a few times in games. Are you a bit concerned when teams are getting a bit of a rebound edge on you, or is it just you don't shoot as well, you have days like that?
No, I definitely would be concerned. It's not so much the total rebounds; it's the percentage of offensive rebounds that we're giving up. So I think again, the film will have to show for sure, but I think there was 4 or 5 where if we had just boxed out, we would have given ourselves a chance to get the rebound. So it's not so much, you're not going to get all of them, but we are a small team, and we can't afford to give them free ones by not blocking out or not seeing back cutters late in the shot clock.
I know that the team has had a lot of success this season. Are you a bit concerned, though, about not having enough height, even when you have Hodgson there? Or do you think when you have him back, have everyone boxing out, you're okay?
I think rebounding has a lot more to do with heart and execution than height. Height's obviously helpful. It'd be nice to have, everyone wants to be a little bit taller, but there's been a lot of great rebounders in the history of the game that aren't as tall as the guy they're out rebounding. And it's one of those, just like anything in basketball, as a coach, you have a game plan that you present to the team, and I think you have to be ready to change it or admit when you're wrong, but it's hard to know when you're wrong if the team doesn't execute what you ask them to do. And in this case, rebounding, I can't really answer your question because I don't think there's been a game where we've done a great job blocking out yet. When that day comes, then I can better tell you.
Mitch, what did you make of the game, and in particular Bryce's first and his fourth quarters in particular? Was that just him getting close to his best there?
Yeah, I think that's just Bryce. You know, it doesn't matter if he has a slow start or anything, he's going to come out and play the game the right way and create shots for other guys. And I think that's something that's a plus for us, playing alongside him. As long as you're ready to shoot it and stay aggressive, he's going to create looks for everyone else. And I think that's probably what we kind of went away from there. Everyone's staying aggressive and trying to get a foot in the paint. So, yeah, it's a little disappointing, but, yeah, I think that's just Bryce.
Go ahead, Craig. Mitch, why does it take a crisis during games, do you feel, from a scoreboard perspective for the team to then refocus and get back into it? It's getting out to big margins in a lot of games now, and then the charge happens. Why can't the charge come before the massive margin happens?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we got off to a good start today, which is the first time. So, yeah, we did get punched in the mouth there in the second. But yeah, I think that's just a part of us sticking true to our game plan and trusting it. And when we do that, you know, we do clean the glass and we get out and run, and that's when we get to play fun basketball.
What happened to you with that shoulder during the game?
Oh, nothing, just a bit of a knock.
You obviously came in with it taped up though, so was there a problem with it before the game?
Yeah, just got hit a little bit in the Southeast Melbourne game, but it's all good.
From a milestone perspective for Jesse, disappointing obviously that you weren't able to produce your best in such a big game for him.
Yeah, it is. It is disappointing. You know, at the end of the day, Wags would have just wanted to win, no matter if it was his 400th or 600th game, whatever it is. He just wants to come out and wants us to play the right way. And yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get the win for him tonight.
JC. JC, you're on mute.
Oh, apologies. Hello, gentlemen. Sorry about the loss tonight. My internet's a bit patchy, but I drop out. Apologies. My question's for you, Scott. Michael Frazier. He's got a great resume. Hasn't quite popped the way we thought he may have this season. What's the secret to unlocking his game, and what did you think about his game tonight? Only the 20 minutes and a stat box that doesn't jump out. But what did you think?
I thought he was okay. I mean, it wasn't his best game. I'm sure he would say the same thing. He's had a lot of very good moments for us, and he's been playing very well in practice. I think he's putting a lot of pressure on himself, you know, to hit every shot and make every play. And it's tough to do those things when you're really, you know, have a lot of weight on your shoulders from internally. So we're going to try and get him to loosen up a little bit and just play basketball like he's always done. You're right, he's been successful at a lot of levels, and I'm pretty sure that he'll break through here pretty soon, and obviously he'll be a big part of our team when he does. But he has been showing a lot of good things. He's been rebounding the ball real well. Prior to tonight, anyway, you know, one of our top assist guys, and he's one of our best defenders. So he's been contributing, not always in the box score, but in a lot of ways.
And maybe just one question for you. Jesse Wagstaff, 400 games, you've been around for quite some time. What's been the secret for his longevity? From a nuts and bolts standpoint, you watch him a lot. What do you think?
I think it's just putting in the work. You know, he's got 3 kids, and he's the first guy into the gym. Days off, he's in there shooting, so he definitely puts the work in and trusts that work. But yeah, other than that, he's a fantastic team guy. I don't know, I can't speak highly enough about him.
Fraser, go ahead.
Yeah, just one question for you, Scott, away from the result tonight. Has there been any talks with the Wildcats about returning to WA? A couple of other code teams have received exemptions to fly in and fly out for games. AFL, I think rugby union as well. Is there an update on that with regards to the Wildcats?
Yeah, I guess I was under the impression, that we were going to be subject to the same rules as the other leagues. So we're planning to be on the road until our road schedule finishes. So whatever that is, mid-March, and then we're hopeful that we can get back and play games under the same conditions that the other sports have been granted. I haven't been following it that close just because I think things change. We've learned that things change a lot, so we're just taking it one day at a time, but we're hopeful that that's the case.
Playing on the road every single game thus far this season, it must be comforting to know you can go back there and have that home crowd and really get a boost, because you guys have jostling for top of the table in the NBL and still haven't really played at home.
Well, we started off at home. We had 5 games at home. But yeah, it's been a long stretch, and it's going to pick up steam here a little bit. It'd be nice to play more games. I think the toughest time is when there's a week between games and you're on the road. It's nice for practice, but there's not much to do other than prepare for the game, and it's easy to get in your own head. But it will be nice if we can keep winning a few games and, you know, have a decent record on this road trip and go home and have 9 straight games at home. We'll put ourselves in a decent position to compete for finals.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Fraser. Any final questions, guys? We're all good. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yep, we're good. Look at that. Sweet. Yeah.
You usually do it?
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's happened a few times.
The old, the old sweaty chair. Sweaty chair stuff. One, can you just bring that slide up? Just so it's square, where do you want it? Just so it's square. It's all right in terms of alignment. And it's triangle. Yeah, but the bubble's not on. I think the bubble's off. I think it is, unless like everything else isn't. Everything looks straight now.
You guys leave your lights in here, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't leave the lights in there, so if you have to take the camera, just unplug it.
Yeah, I normally just leave them on the tripod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's back.
The only thing I'll put back is the laptop in the front, but back in 9 hours, is it?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah. Alright.
See you what?
Don't rush in though.
Game's like 1.
Nice early game tomorrow.
Yeah, are you in there?
Watch out for the sweaty chair.
No, that was so wet.
We swapped it out.
Thanks, bro.
You put 2 wet ones in.
Macintosh. I sat after him. It was just saturated.
Thanks for waiting, everybody. We'll get right underway. Roy, go ahead.